Motherfucker. Welcome to Violent Cinema Review. I'm Christian,
And I'm Bones.
I'm Goblin.
and we are reviewing Anti-Wonderful.
Moving Fast Pictures' first film, directed by Samuel B.
This is his first independent film. He did have something in the works prior to this, but it didn't really work out. So we added some of the details from that into this movie, which covers kind of like an Adult Swim late night public access show that covers murder and suicide and basically deals with people whose murder and suicide have affected other people's lives.
It's like a comedy and then sprinkled in like Mondo-esque interviews. Apparently, I'm the only one that thought they seemed real, at least all of them except for the last one.
Pretty sure like that 90% of those interviews were fake, but that's not due to lack of trying because they were well done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even if they you say they are or say they aren't, the fact that you question it is, means that they did good a job.
Because
Yeah.
it is kind of what, when you do watch a public access show or like a weird late night show, you're like, wait, what am I seeing is real? Like, is how much of this is fake? Like, it kind of deludes reality a lot.
I want to say one thing that I kind of wished was added to it, and I know Bones might think differently, but the kind of adding a little bit into the interview part of it when they were just kind of talking, getting interviewed, maybe like kind of back shadowing into some of the story. So you're not just kind of watching because they'd had all these like, in betweens and then it was just kind of interview through. And I get that it was a mockumentary or documentary type feel, so it was meant to be that way. But I think something else could have maybe tied it better together.
Kind of like
Yeah.
some recreation in between or like, just like cuts to like small little.
To
I
be
just feel like just to split it up a little bit more.
to be honest, I disagree. I'd probably like the interviews a lot less if that happened. It would make it seem very like investigation discovery-esque. And I kind of like the rawness of like interviews, just
Just like
kind of
sitting down and tell your story. Here's the
yeah.
questions. Like, bare
Because
bones gets to the point.
the
Hey,
first time
speaking
I
of
watched
bones.
it, fuck you. The first time I watched it, I kind of felt for him because I seriously thought a couple of these were completely realistic. And until we got to the end interview, which I didn't think was pulled off as well or acted as well, is what I meant. And that's the only time I questioned that maybe they weren't real. I thought they were real almost throughout the whole thing, to be honest. The only thing I wish was done differently is I wish we had a lot more of the Alice in Wonderland part at the end because that was my favorite part. I have another part I love, but it was so quick and it was so fun though. I loved the Alice in Wonderland girl being a drug addict.
Yeah, I love when films break the fourth wall,
Fuck, is she dead? Am I still getting paid for this?
and it was nice to see that. But I think that could have been also like maybe an opportunity missed because they could have gotten a little bit trippier and gotten because it's supposed to be an indie art film. It's like why not take this opportunity to kind of make it a little bit trippier? And it kind of just seemed like it was like cut dry next scene. Um,
Well,
Yeah.
the most excited thing for me is because I'm getting the Blu-ray sent out because I did the Indiegogo, and I can't wait to see like if there's deleted scenes on it,
yeah,
and like I want to see what didn't make the cut because
Yeah.
like I love the Jeff the killer serial killer for
I was gonna
hire.
say Serial Killers for Hire was probably my favorite part of the whole thing.
Yeah,
Like that was just hilarious.
I love the weird fucking lisp he has.
Yeah.
Like he's talking like this, they're very quiet. And it's like I didn't get to kill the last girl because she killed herself, but
So man, it's just like
the
fucking
ending was the
spasms.
same. Like I
Dude, yeah,
love
see,
that part.
I would like more of that stuff and maybe cut down on some of the interviews a little bit just because they did kind of
Well,
go on,
the thing
but
what
I'm
I
definitely curious, like you said, if there's any deleted scenes, like what did get cut from like this mismatch of ideas.
and also the
I would
cut that we got and what we saw could be a little bit
I was gonna
cut down.
say we
yeah.
might because I know this is kind of different from what's gonna be released from what we saw.
I know for a fact the coloring is gonna change from what we saw because we got a screener copy of it. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think that it creates so much like kind of universe that we could have spawn offs. Like I would love the fucking Jeff serial killer for hire spawn off and a fucking the Alice in Wonderland characters. I would love to see more of them.
Do you
Like
mean spin off and not spawn off? Because we're not Todd McFarlane.
shut the fuck up. Yes, I mean spin off. Thank you for correcting me, though. I would have fucking kept saying the same shit.
It's okay. It's because I love you, Circle Jerk.
There was one thing with the cropping that sometimes got to me, and maybe that's just my OCD, but so like the backgrounds and the paintings, it almost seems like it's like a Wes Anderson where it could be like, like perfect shot where they really took it, but then it's like slightly off, or like my
I don't.
slight my OCD, but they might cropped it differently,
You
but
you said that twice when we watched it because we did watch it like 3 times, or at least I did, watching it with both of them. But I don't know. It never bothered me, to be honest.
Could definitely see kind of what Christian's saying, like where some things like it wasn't too bad, but it was just like slightly off. Like just
it just seems like it needed to be cleaned up.
I really liked the way that like the interviews flowed and how they jumped between like shots and then
yeah.
like the dialogue followed beforehand. I thought it was edited
Mhm.
pretty well, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's edited pretty well, but I don't know if it's because we did get a screener copy, so I just have that in my head, but it kind of does feel unfinished and like rough around the edges and needs to be cleaned up and
I
trimmed
mean,
out.
that's all I'm getting at.
But
Yeah.
I'm excited to see like what is the end outcome if they do any of that, because it is like the person making it, I'm very interested in seeing where they're going to take this, what they're going to do with it, if they're going to do spin-offs like you said, or spawn-offs, and and like just they're kind of building a world in it.
Yeah, I definitely do think there's some gold in here that you could go farther with if you really
Well,
wanted
it
to.
would be cool if this gets attention to take this and then maybe actually do the Roach story and flesh it out
Yeah,
because it was kind of introduced in here.
my final thoughts on Anti-Wonderfuls. I really enjoyed it. There's certain things I would fix, and I can't wait to see what's going to be on the final release of it with all the bonus features and delete scenes and stuff. Hopefully, but yeah, there was a lot of things I really loved about it. I actually think I liked it better than them two did.
It's not that I hated it. It wasn't bad. I think it can be cleaned up. I think it can be fixed up. I think some things can be changed. But like I said, it does make me excited about like what could come from this universe, this
Mhm.
anti-wonderful world that, I hope he kind of builds on, because it's a fun movie and I'm excited to see where it goes next. It may take a repeat watch or two to actually like let everything sink in and kind of really understand it. It's not, super abstract and you can't understand it and it's layered and stuff, but like it's definitely like you have to catch the story. You kind of have to piece it together just to kind of get what's going on.
But for an indie art house, it stands out. And
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
unique.
I mean, it's a beautiful looking film, like the colorways and stuff, and there's just definitely some shots that can be cleaned up or cropped and whatnot. But
Yeah,
overall, it's enjoyable. I think it'll be worth repeat viewings for sure.
I think the chaotic thing I really enjoyed about it too, because like every time it wasn't the interviews and the actual like public access, it was so fucking all over the place. It was like, here's Dr. Death. Nope, Dr. Death is getting shot. Here's this transgender crazy Asian person like freaking out about circulars. Yeah.
No, it had
I
its moments. It definitely had some
Yeah.
moments that were good.
I really like the characters, and like Goblin said too, I think that I hope it does well so that we can get more. And I would love just like separate things, like Jeff the Killer for Hire's own show, and fucking like
Yes.
the Alice in Wonderland's own show. And I would
Mhm.
even like the transgender girl to have her own show because I thought she was fucking hilarious.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Now if we got a serial killers for hire show, or even like spin-off movie or short film or something, that would be phenomenal.
They all have a podcast, and they're just like,
That would be great. He takes
Yeah.
people under his wing.
That's kind of like the movie How to Be a Serial Killer
Oh god, I haven't seen that in so
with
long.
Matthew Gray Gubler before he was like
Yeah.
famous.
Yeah, I love that guy actually. I don't like
Yeah.
Criminal Minds, but I love him.
I overdosed to Criminal Minds, so now I can't watch it because it like gives me flashbacks to dying on my couch.
Oh shit.
So thanks for watching Anti-Wonderful.
That's it for our Anti-Wonderful review. I give it a 3.5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I think it was above average indie film, in my opinion. I thought it was really fun.
I give it a 3.69 out of 5.
He just wanted to say 6ix9ine because he's a big Tekashi 6ix9ine fan. He's like, fuck you for jumping him at LA Fit.
Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to keep a lookout because I think after the Indiegogo copies are out, I think he's going to put out some more copies of it. It might be a limited one. I'm not quite sure how it's going to go, but yeah, keep a lookout.
Thanks for joining Violent Cinema Review. And on behalf of Quality Violent Cinema, I'm Goblin.
And I'm Bones.
I'm Christian.